Welcome to this edition of AFMC.
I'll tell you how I got better. I'm
Glad to be here.
But a mission to
Delivery of
improve.
I think that we're going to talk about everybody's.
Arkansas is the second highest prescriber.
Welcome to AFMC TV. I'm Robin Ledbetter. Thank you for joining us. Today I have with me Jamey Mantz, and she's an outreach specialist in RN and the team lead for the Medicaid Quality Improvement team for AFMC. Jamey, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Robin.
So we're talking about DEEP, diabetes education and programming. Tell us what DEEP is.
So DEEP, which stands for Diabetes Empowerment Education Program, is a diabetes self-management education program and that motivates and empowers adults with diabetes to build skills and make small changes to help them live longer, healthier lives. The DEEP curriculum was developed at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and it is designed to engage participants in self-management practices for the prevention and control of their diabetes. It's a very interactive and it's a very fun program.
And it's nationwide as well. It's not just Arkansas.
It is not. It is not. As I mentioned, it was developed by the University of Illinois at Chicago, a group there, and they have since allowed others to use their curriculum. You do have to have an agreement with them in order to use that, and at AFMC we have that, and then you also have to go through training to be able to be trained in their curriculum.
So tell us about the model of DEEP and how that program actually works.
Absolutely. So the model is a train the trainer, and it was designed to engage community members to actually go in their communities and implement it. Because what they found was if you go in a community where you live and where you engage with the individuals there, they're more likely to trust you. And so there's a DEEP Peer Educator workshop. And in the DEEP Peer Educator workshop, that's where we basically train community health workers or just individuals in the community to teach DEEP to people in their community. There's also what they call lead trainers and senior trainers. And the senior trainers actually train the lead trainer workshops so that they can go in the community and teach peer educators. So it sounds like a lot, but it's basically your senior trainer, your lead trainer, and then your peer educators is how the model is set up.
So it sounds like it's truly about empowering and prevention, that it is a huge part of the mission behind the program.
It really is, because what they say is if you can empower someone to build on the skills they have and to make small changes and to have them be motivated to make these changes so that they can have a better outcome, they generally do better. So it's not so much of a lecture base. It is more of a facilitator type workshop when we have them. And so we help them figure out what they can do to improve different things that are related to their diabetes that'll help them have better outcomes.
And nationwide, I mean, diabetes is a real problem. Would you say epidemic level problem?
It is, Robin. It is unfortunately an epidemic, and the impact of diabetes in the United States is astounding. It is now the 8th leading cause of death, and over 37 million people in our country have diabetes. About 1.2 million are diagnosed every year. And then, unfortunately, over 8 million Americans have diabetes and don't even know it. So that's the really scary part that's out there. Type 2 diabetes is what most people in the United States have. About 95% have type 2. And the sad thing about that, in most cases, that's preventable. And so it is an epidemic. The American Diabetes Association at this point says 1 in 2 individuals have diabetes or prediabetes.
Oh, wow. And where does Arkansas fall nationwide?
Well, unfortunately, we're hanging with the epidemic. Approximately 307,000 people in Arkansas, or you could say over 13% of our adult population have been diagnosed with diabetes. Again, we have about, they're guesstimating 70% of the people in Arkansas have diabetes but don't know it. And every year, over 17,000 people in Arkansas are diagnosed with diabetes. And we rank number 49 out of 50, unfortunately.
Wow. So this is truly like $1 billion industry of treatment.
It truly is. In 2022, the national cost of diabetes was greater than $400 billion, which was up from $327 billion in 2017. So, and with uncontrolled diabetes, or really what I like to say is uncontrolled blood sugar, because you can be diagnosed with diabetes and really do okay if you can learn how to keep your blood sugar numbers where they need to be in a safe range. But with uncontrolled blood sugar, or as they say, uncontrolled diabetes, you have more serious complications. And people that have that and the complications, they spend 2.5 times more on healthcare costs than people who don't have diabetes. So it's very expensive, and lots of money from our healthcare is spent on diabetes and the care for individuals with it.
So Dee does a really good job at tackling it in the community on the ground floor. So tell us how AFMC is partnering with several other groups for that program.
Absolutely. So with our Medicaid contract, one thing we are currently offering is community classes. So what that means is we will go into the communities, and we are currently in 6 counties, and we will go in that community and we will visit with providers in that community and let them know we are willing to offer a class. And we are asking them to send their Medicaid beneficiaries to our classes, or they're dual eligible, which means beneficiaries with Medicaid and Medicare. And right now we are offering those community classes in Faulkner, Johnson, Dallas, Calhoun, Ouachita, and Union counties. And our hope is to grow this and go into other areas as this program grows more.
And who can participate? So if you live in that county, you can participate, or can you cross county lines? How does that work?
Yeah, we are fine if someone outside of that county. You know, a lot of our counties, especially in our rural South Arkansas, they're very close to each other. And so it's not a problem if they wanted to come from other counties to participate. And it's absolutely free. There's no charge for it. And, you know, we really say the more the merrier. Lots of times what we see is people do better with a support person. So that person may not have diabetes, but if they would like to come to these community classes, they are more than welcome to. A lot of times the spouses will come, or a sister or a neighbor. And, you know, they learn lots of things too, because most of us know someone who has diabetes, unfortunately.
And you talked briefly about the peer education method. So anyone can participate and become a peer educator through the program.
Yes. So in order to be trained as a peer educator, a lead educator has to provide the training. And at AFMC, we are currently working with the Arkansas Rural Health Partnership, which is ARHP, and we are providing their community health workers with peer educator training. And that way they can go out in the communities where they work, and they can offer these free community classes as well. We are also working with UAMS, and with UAMS, we are providing peer educator training to their community health workers and pharmacy techs. So the idea is they can teach community classes in the areas where they live. And because UAMS is basically throughout the entire state, the training is being spread to lots of different areas. We actually held a training in September in Springdale where we trained 18 individuals as deep peer educators. And we have an additional peer educator training scheduled in Little Rock, and that will be in January, and that will be with the UAMS community health workers and their pharmacy techs as well.
So how long will the program last, Jamey? Is there a deadline to where you can get involved, or is this something that will be ongoing?
So as far as our work with UAMS, that we have a 5-year term that we are working with them, and we are hoping to expand and get lots of people educated within those 5 years. As far as our Medicaid contract, we are hoping to continue to be able to offer these community classes to our Medicaid beneficiaries. And as far as our Arkansas Rural Health Partnership, we have a couple more years of working with them to get people educated to cover all of these different counties where they work.
So it's a great time for them to get involved, their community to get involved. There's still time.
Absolutely. And Robin, I do want to mention another thing that we are doing with UAMS is we are providing DSMES technical support, which is diabetes self-management and education and support. And we are working with clinics, helping them get the accreditation it's the Association of Diabetic Care and Education Specialists. It's a mouthful. It's ADCES. But there is a way to become accredited in DSMES. And by becoming accredited, they can actually bill their Medicare beneficiaries. They can actually bill for the education that they're doing. So we are currently recruiting clinics that are interested in obtaining this accreditation.
So before we go, tell me about November and that it is American Diabetes Month.
Absolutely, Robin. So American Diabetes Month is observed in November every year. And the idea is to raise awareness about diabetes and to help prevent, treat, and manage the disease. So it's not really a celebration of diabetes, but it's more about coming up with ways to prevent diabetes and to prevent poor outcomes for individuals who do have diabetes, and to kind of rally together to try to fight this epidemic that we are seeing right now in our country. The American Diabetes Association is kind of leading the charge through this with research, education, and advocacy. There are several things that you can do to participate in this American Diabetes Month. You can go to the American Diabetes Association website, and they have toolkits. They have different things that you can print out and use. They also are really hoping to push the word about diabetic eye disease and to really get the word out to individuals who do have diabetes that they need to get regular eye exams and how to protect their vision. But there are different things that they are offering on their website.
Well, Jamey, thank you for being on our show today and talking about DEEP and the program and the outreach work that you're doing. And I know that we'll have viewers that want to find out more. And where can they go? Through AFMC's website, or if they want to find information, where can they go?
So if they go to AFMC's website and they go to the Medicaid Quality Improvement page, we have some information on diabetes there. And we have an email address there as well if they wanted to reach out and ask any questions about any of the programs that I mentioned, and we would love to hear from them.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jamey.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Robin.
And that's it for this episode of AFMC TV. Thanks for watching and have a great day.